Junior Jewels, I'm Carly.
And I'm Jess, and we are the hosts of Typical Tuesday Night,
a Taylor Swift podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Typical Tuesday Night podcast. I'm Carly.
And I'm Jess.
We are so excited.
Yes.
I feel like we say that every time.
Tuesdays are the best. Yes. And we have a lot of new listeners.
Yes.
So if you're new here, welcome.
Hello.
We're so excited to have you. If you don't know, if you haven't binged or you don't know what we do here, we are a Taylor Swift podcast. All we talk about is Taylor Swift or Taylor Swift adjacent things.
It all leads back to Taylor.
It all leads back to Taylor. And we feel like as a podcast, we're a little different than like other Taylor Swift podcasts. We teach you everything you need to know about Taylor. We don't just talk about her songs or just like the current news. We talk about all of it. We like dive deep into her past. We go like into deeper meanings on the songs, all the things. Yeah. It's so fun. If you're new here and you have not binged, you have a lot of content you can binge. We've been doing
You're so lucky.
Every Tuesday for over a year and a half. So plus extra stuff too.
All the things.
It's so fun. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts. We are also on YouTube. Always you can find us on social media. We're on Patreon.
All the things.
Apple subscription. All the things. So
all the good
we're
things.
So happy you're here.
Yes. And today is fun because we are kind of going back a little bit, like you were talking about, and doing a new series. And we are starting, drum roll. I guess I should actually do a drum roll instead of just with my fingers. Debut.
Yay.
I am so excited to do this.
So excited.
And like when I was doing like research and like figuring all of the stuff out that we wanted to talk about, it just like gave me one, so much nostalgia, but two, I'm just like so proud to see all of the work she put in during this era.
Yeah.
And like seeing her now just being like, girl, like you did that.
You are the man.
And like you deserve like all of this success. Like you have worked so hard.
Yes.
And it's I'm so excited to talk about all of this.
I'm so excited because we usually have like a planning meeting at the beginning of the year, and we have been planning on doing a debut series through the summer since the beginning of the year, and now I feel like it's even sweeter knowing that like debut Taylor's version is probably still coming. And that like she owns her masters and all that. It's just like so special. And I feel like I was actually talking to one of our friends. She said that she feels like she doesn't know debut super well because debut isn't really like when she entered the fandom. And then also with like all the master stuff, like she hasn't really listened to it a ton. And so like it's a great opportunity for everyone to either like feel nostalgic or to really learn like the roots of like where she started.
And the roots are so good. They're so good. Because you and I have been here since this. Yeah, like this is it for us. This is where it all started. Yes. So it's fun. But so the way that we do series is we will do like today's episode is like everything you need to know about the album. So we're going to talk about the album, all of that. And then next week we kind of talk about songs, and then we talk about like her life and the era, and we talk about like boyfriend deep dives and song deep dives and
music videos. Yes, videos. Those will be funny to talk about.
They'll be very different from our normal deep dives.
Yeah, that's true. That's funny.
But it'll be fun. So all the fun things. But before we talk about anything, I can't believe I've waited this long to say it. Your hat, it looks so good.
If you're on YouTube, if you're not on YouTube, come to YouTube.
Immediately
see my cute hat.
It is like seriously, this whole time I've been like, I should look at the camera for YouTube. Nope, I have to stare at the freaking cutest hat. It seriously looks so good. It's so cute. Fun. Do you want to like talk about it?
Yeah, guys, look at this cute hat I have. If you want to buy it, you can get it from our shop.
What? We made hats?
Yes, we made hats. If you don't know, we sell shirts, like Taylor shirts and hats. I guess Taylor inspired shirts and hats. And we are so excited about this one.
So cute.
It's so cute. It's like this cute denim. If you can't see on YouTube,
Yeah.
it's like this cute denim, like classic ball cap. It has the distressing on it, which is such a fun detail. And then it's embroidered with a lilac 13.
Oh, it's so cute.
And a little white butterfly.
Like, it is so cute.
We're both just like, that's so cute.
I wore mine twice this week. Like, we just got it.
It's so perfect.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's really comfortable too. Like, it fits really nicely.
Yeah, and it has like that adjustable back, which is so nice. It's so cute. Yeah. So if you want a cute new hat and you want to twin with us, head to typicaltuesdaynight.com. You can get them there. Free shipping always for these are only for people in the US. But they are so cute. So fun.
So you all need one. It's going to be, we wanted something that was more like just
general.
Swifty, like general, like the number 13 is. But we also wanted something different that wasn't a shirt that you could like wear during the summer.
Yes.
And I love wearing hats during the summer. And so this one's going to be like my new go-to.
Yes.
It's so cute.
It's so fun.
Very excited. Yes. So we'll also link it down in the show notes and everything too. But our website's just typicaltuesdaynight.com.
Yes.
So, okay. Let's jump in because I'm just like so excited. So like I said, this is going to be talking about the album in general. There is a lot that kind of like led up to the album and a lot that happened in her life during this album, but that's all going to be in like our era overview. So anything that had to do with that, I did not include in this. So you're going to want to subscribe wherever you're listening so you can stay notified of that episode coming up. So we're going to start with kind of like an overview.
Yeah, an overview of the overview. So, debut.
Yeah.
I mean, technically Taylor Swift.
Yes, I was literally just about to be like, we should probably tell people it's not called debut because I've heard people think it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's called Taylor Swift. It's her first studio album, hence why we call it debut. Yes. I think people really started to call it debut when Taylor's versions were coming out because it felt weird to say Taylor Swift, Taylor's version.
Yeah.
But also sounds weird to me to say debut Taylor's version.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I always wondered what she would like name it.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe we'll still find out.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, it was her first studio album released in North America only, which is interesting.
Yeah.
October
at first, I guess I should say.
Yeah, at first. So it was released October 24th, 2006 by Big Machine Records.
It's also really interesting to like see all the Big Machine and Big like Machine stuff we're going to talk about.
Yeah. It was reissued multiple times throughout 2007 and 2008. And we'll discuss like the details and like how it was re-released so many times later in the episode. And then there were 11 tracks on the standard edition. You know, we hadn't quite
I know she hadn't
hyper-fixated as much on the 13.
So cool.
That would have been
if like
cool.
Her first one had 13. I mean, she totally could have. She had enough songs.
Yeah.
Really cool. But Taylor solo wrote 3 of the songs on her debut album, which I feel like for like a debut album for somebody, like especially back then. I feel like it's more popular now to have like singer-songwriters like releasing their own stuff. But and then most of the rest she co-wrote with Liz Rose. Okay. And we'll hear about Liz Rose a lot. I remember Liz Rose was over everything through like the first like 4 albums.
Yeah.
But the 3 songs that she wrote by herself were The Outside, Should Have Said No, and Our Song. All like
that's amazing.
Great ones.
Like
Our Song was huge.
Should have said no.
Yeah, Should Have Said No. Huge.
Wow.
So
cool too because like even for the record label to like be willing to keep what she wrote and to put that trust in her as such a young girl. Or you know, like I could see it like them just like not even giving that a chance. Like, no, like you are you're gonna have someone else write all these songs with you, you know. So that's so cool.
And it was interesting, like I saw Liz, I don't know if I put this in here, but Liz talked a lot about how like Taylor knew what she was doing. Like I was kind of there to like help, but like she would come with like what she needed. Like she was a really incredible songwriter and like clearly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like clearly. And it was like so cool to see like, yeah, these professionals be like realize that. Like you said, like recognize that
early on.
She's good. She's talented.
Yeah.
And the fact that she was that talented so early on. I just like it's this series is going to be so special for just like other reasons. Yes. It's just so nostalgic and I'm still so proud of this little girl.
Yes.
Which sounds so stupid, but
no,
I'm just so so the producers of the album were Nathan Chapman, who was the person who produced her demos.
Okay.
That she went and passed out to everybody to try and get a record deal. And then Robert Ellis Orrell also produced it. But I found this quote that Taylor said regarding Nathan Chapman. She said, "I loved the demos that we made together. And so when it came time to make my record, Scott was like, well, you know what? We're going to put you with producers who have actually made albums before." Because Nathan Chapman had never made an album. They'd like found him to like make her debut, but like he'd never made a full album. Yeah, I had no idea. And I was like, but this guy is so great. So I went in and I tried it with a lot of different people who are awesome. And it just wasn't that same magic that I got with my demo producer who worked in a shack. So after a lot of begging and pleading, I got my label to agree to let Nathan Chapman produce my entire first album. Isn't that incredible?
She does know what she wants.
Does.
Wow.
Which is so cool at such a young age too. And I'm so proud of her for like
sticking to her guns.
Yes, to be like, no. Like the song needs to sound like this.
Yeah.
And these other people, although they're awesome and they're great, they're not making the song sound like what I know they need to sound like.
She's amazing.
She is.
And also just like makes me even more passionate about being annoyed. Is that really what I'm going to say? Like when people are annoyed about her continuing to like work with Jack over and over again.
Yep, the same thing.
Like, yeah, she knows what she's doing.
Yep.
She knows what she wants and she knows how to get that and who she needs to get it.
Yeah.
If she needs a different producer to get her vision, she will do it.
She was doing it at like 15.
Yes. Like,
yeah.
Wow.
I know. Crazy. I thought that was so cool. Well, and it's crazy too, because then I was like, who else has he worked with since then? Like, if that was like his first album. So I looked it up. There was a ton of people, but some of them are like Martina McBride, the band Perry, Shania Twain, Lady A, like huge names.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but it's so
this
cool
little
to be
guy
like,
that just kind of knows what he's doing in a shack.
Yeah. In a shack made, these demos. But I just loved that whole thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, really cool.
I'm obsessed. Okay, so as far as writing the album goes, fun fact, it was actually almost called A Place in This World.
Which is crazy. It doesn't have the same, I don't know why. I love that it's called Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Why? Too. Honestly, if it was called A Place in This World, I probably would have loved that too.
What do you think about A Place in This World, Taylor's version? That's actually kind of funny.
That's kind of funny.
Maybe that's what she'll call it.
That would be cool.
So the recording took place over a 4-month period at the end of 2005. She was 16 years old at the time that she wrote most of the songs during her freshman year of high school. So,
definitely was not. That's not what I was doing during my freshman year of high school.
But I did listen to this album front to back. Just the other day.
Yeah,
and I don't do that very often.
Yeah.
And I was listening and I was just like, wow. I'm like, the passion I sang some of these songs with when I was in middle school, at this age that she wrote them, and I thinking back on it now, it's like a little cringy. I'm like, I'm so dramatic.
But I think that's why we related to her.
Because it's immature.
Yes.
But that's why it was relatable because we were kids.
Yeah.
We were young girls.
Yeah. Because you think about the music that was popular when we were growing up and stuff, it was nothing that I related to.
Yeah.
I liked the songs.
Yeah.
But it was never something that I was actually going through.
Yeah.
And here she was.
I know. And it's interesting because she actually wrote some of them too, when she was even younger than that and included them on that album. But she definitely did the typical like storytelling of that country music can do.
Yes.
But didn't use the same themes that typical country music is. You know, like you think of like classic country music. It's like I drove my truck down the dirt road. And,
for real.
You know, whatever.
I was drinking beer.
Not like I'm at high school and I feel invisible and like you know.
But that's why I think like it worked so well.
Yes.
Like it was combined. It was like almost like a new, I don't want to say genre, but like a new genre in a way. Like at least a new subcategory of country music. And
where country music, that genre is so, I don't want to say narrow.
Yeah.
But it especially
was, I think, back then.
Very narrow.
Yeah.
And so to like create like a new subcategory within it, so powerful. Yes. But yeah, it was definitely like stuff straight from her diary from her early teenage years, which obviously like straight from her diary is basically what we've continued through for 20 years almost.
It's wild.
Crazy.
So like it's crazy to me because like that is, I mean, more than half my life.
Yes.
I've had Taylor Swift like playing
the like soundtrack narrating to your life.
The soundtrack to my life. Exactly. Yeah. I just like don't even want to think about when she stops.
I know. Oh my gosh, don't even say it. We're talking about when she started.
Okay, perfect.
Not when she stopped. Oh my gosh. And so there's this quote from her about it. She said, "You listen to my album and it sounds like I've had 500 boyfriends."
Which I love that, like, even back then. She's like, look, I get this. It sounds like I've had a lot of boyfriends.
That is amazing.
I know.
I'm like, I don't know. It actually sounds more like you had 500 boys you wish were your boyfriend. Because that was me.
But for reals, though.
I'm only I don't know. Anyways, invisible.
Yeah.
So, but that's not really the case. I found that you don't have to date someone to write a song about them. I was going through a really tough time in school, facing a lot of rejection among my peers. I found that I was alone a lot of the time on the outside, looking into their discussions and the things they were saying to each other. They really didn't talk to me.
So sad.
I know. In the process of coming to the realization, I started developing this really keen sense of observation of how to watch people and see what they did. For that sense, I was able to write songs about relationships when I was 13, but not in relationships. Interesting.
Like, yeah. It's really cool.
It's giving folklore love triangle.
Yeah. All grown up.
Like fictional people she's seeing and like experiences they're having and writing about them.
But it's really cool that like she took this time where she was like, I was struggling. I felt alone. I was alone. Nobody was talking to me. It's like basically I like people watched.
Yeah.
But like,
wow.
What a cool sense of like, I don't know, realization to be able to like realize what people are doing and saying and be able to connect with that.
Yeah.
And then write a song about it.
Yeah.
Which she does an incredible job.
Yeah. Which is why it would be insane to have her direct a movie or a series or a live show.
Yeah.
Like it would be. I can only
one
imagine.
Day. Come on, Tay.
Yeah.
Okay, then there's this other quote that I found that I really like too. She says, right now at 17, I feel like this album completely explains what I've gone through. And I have so many girls come up to me at shows and say, I feel like you ripped a page out of my diary when I listened to this album. And hearing something like that really makes me feel like I've done something good. It makes me realize I've done what I'd wanted to do, which is ultimately make people feel like they're not alone. I gotta get chills because that is absolutely how I felt back then.
Yes. Like, but also on top of that, that is literally like the legacy of her career.
Yes.
Seeing like where she is now and that's like held true all this time.
The whole time.
Oh, I love
and it's
that.
Just incredible to me that like at 17, she realized this.
Yeah.
Like what I wanted to do is like make people feel not alone. Like I was fine to open myself up and open up my own diary. Because I knew that it would help other people feel not alone because that's how I felt.
Well, it's interesting. Like she said she felt alone.
Yeah.
And so being open about feeling alone actually
helped people
gave her connection, which is, I think we say that a lot now, especially like on social media and like connecting through vulnerability.
Yes.
so cool.
I know. I love it. Okay, let's talk about the album artwork. So the artwork there, the very front is like a photo of her close up. She's got that classic long curly blonde hair, and then the words Taylor Swift in her like signature cursive font on the bottom left, and then there's doodles of butterflies and like floral vines on the full left side. Such a fun fact, she did all the doodles for that like cover art and like the inside, like all the liner notes and the lyrics. I'm like, of course.
That's so fun.
Like, of course you did, Taylor. Like, why not?
Which is, I mean, I feel like that kind of plays into the album too, of like high school, like on your notes, like just like notes on,
because that's what it looks like. It is. It's just like a bunch of like doodles.
Yeah.
I hadn't made that connection. That's fun. This is a really fun fact. So Melinda Norris and Andrew Orth were the ones that like did the photos, and like the cover. They like helped with the artwork. But Andrew Orth was actually a family friend, and he was like a former neighbor to the Taylor's, to like the Swift family, and his mom used to babysit Taylor. I'm like, I love this like little neighbor. Like, could you imagine like,
these
you like babysitting somebody like in your neighborhood? And then
they become Taylor Swift.
Like wild.
That's so crazy.
Kind of have this like a random people. Do you know Lucky Blue Smith?
No.
Like the model. He's like a really famous model.
Okay.
He was my neighbor. I used to babysit him growing up.
You did?
Yeah. He is married
babysat
to
a model?
Yeah.
that is so
actually
crazy.
Do you know like Piper America Smith?
No.
Okay.
Wait.
They're all from
Utah.
Utah.
Sounds familiar. Maybe.
She like knows like a lot of Utah people too, so like connects with them. But anyway, she's like a big time model now too.
Funny.
But yeah, I like babysat them growing up. They lived like literally directly across from me. But he what is her name? Nara Smith. I didn't know her. She is like a huge like big blogger or like Instagrammer. She's got millions and millions and millions. Like she's one at the top. Anyway, that's his wife.
Oh my
They
gosh.
like got married, and I'm like, of course,
that's
this
so
like huge
funny.
Instagram person and this like famous model. Anyway,
that's so funny.
That's like my claim to fame.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so she used to babysit Taylor, but he then left and went to work in LA as like a celebrity like photographer. And when he would come back home, Andrea would ask him to take family photos. And so he would do that. Gosh. And so he ended up taking all of Taylor's photos for her like EP and like all of her like self-titled debut album photos.
Wow.
I know. I just thought that was fun.
That is
You're
fun.
just like, yeah, like my neighbor is like which is cool that like clearly he was good. I mean, the photos are incredible. But like, and he's like a celebrity photographer, but like kind of fun for her too, probably.
That is so fun.
But this is a quote from him. He said, I would go down to Nashville and stay with the family. We'd all hang out, have dinners. I'd sleep over for about a week. We'd shoot for 3 days at all of these locations that I'd written down. And they just made all the photos for debut. I thought it was fun.
That is so fun. Taylor was super involved in like the design and the packaging of like the inside and the outside of the album, which we kind of discussed like with the doodles and stuff. But this is where the original clowning was born, you guys. Secret messages, which if you've been a long time podcast listener, we've talked about secret messages before, but basically in the booklets, in the liner notes, she would capitalize letters to make secret messages. So debut through 1989 have secret messages, which is so fun. And so it was super interesting because she decided to do this because of the Beatles' practice of hiding secret messages in their records. Basically, they would do this thing called backmasking, which is where sounds are played backwards to create interesting effects to their music, but people like saw it as like them putting like secret messages in their music.
I like had no idea.
Yeah, so cool.
I love that she was like, the Beatles did this. I want to do secret messages too for my fans.
Yeah,
and like,
but
found
like
her
my
own way to do it. Yeah, so fun. Okay, you guys know we love a prologue. We love reading them. We love seeing what Taylor wanted us to know. So I found the prologue for debut. It is so long. And literally it's just a bunch of like I love yous to people, which is so cute. It's adorable. To me. Like it's so cute. So
it's almost like she treated it like a dedication.
Yes, 100% she did. Yeah. So we're gonna read this. It's still really long, but I cut out a lot of it. So if you guys want, you can just Google like Taylor Swift prologue and it'll come up. But anyway, so I'm gonna read it. So it starts out, I love you. I love you, family. Dad, because you are my biggest fan, and I will never tire of the way you smile when I pick up a guitar and start playing. Mom, for being my best friend and trusted companion, even back when you were my only friend. That was so cool. I'm sorry, but like as a mom, I'm like,
that's so
what a great mom, Andrea.
Oh my
gosh. That is so cool, especially a 16-year-old to say that too. Like that's really, really cool. Okay, she continues. Austin, my little brother, for being so much braver than I could ever hope to be. My Aunt Allison, for being such a beautiful person. My aunts, uncles, cousins, and extended family, even ones I didn't know I had.
Oh my God.
For making Thanksgiving something someone should write a book about. I love my mom and dad's friends. That actually like makes me wonder if that's like a hint to like a book that she wrote.
Yeah.
Because like we know there's like the a girl named Girl.
Yeah.
Like maybe she's hinting at a book. Anyway, I don't know. I love my mom and dad's friends who have been so supportive and loud at my concerts. I love my girlfriends. Abigail, I love you because you are my best friend in the entire world. Like, oh. I can't wait to room together when we're 65 and wrinkled and living in Minnesota.
Oh my gosh.
It's like cool to like see like what she thought about her life at this point. I love Allie, Kelsey, Catherine, Jeff, Clay, and all of my amazing friends from Hendersonville. Brittany Mack for being my first friend. I miss you.
Oh, that's so cute.
I know.
Okay, so then it goes, I love everyone who helped make this album, Scott Borchetta, for believing in me and doing something about it. And obviously we have a lot of like not great things to say about Scott, but like obviously like huge props to him.
Like he took a chance on her.
Yes, he took a chance on her and she was his first artist.
Yeah. And like we talk about like all of these things that they're going to do to like put out this album and like promote it.
Yeah.
He put a lot behind her. Like he had so much faith in her.
Well, and I think that's why it's difficult is like because we know how special their relationship was and started. It's just disappointing to see how it happened. Had to get to where it did and how it ended and stuff is kind of really what it is. But it says, for believing in me and doing something about it, Shake and Bake, Radio Man.
I think that's like an inside joke between them. Okay. Like Shake and Bake, Radio Man.
Shake and Bake, Radio Man.
Yeah.
I don't get it. So that's how we roll. Nathan Chapman, because he's the most amazing redheaded freckled producer in the world, and I love your gorgeous wife, Stephanie. Thank you, Nathan, for gracing me with your first album. Liz Rose, you are my songwriting soulmate and one of my dearest friends. Robert Ellis Oral, you are the best. Nick, for smashing your drumsticks on my songs. Tim, for playing on my session on your birthday, and everyone else who played on the album, because you guys are so good. Chad, you are amazing. For your amazing mullet and engineering skills. I love my record label.
I had to leave that part in too, though, so to like end with like, I love my record label.
Yeah.
Because again, to like see where they started and then like, I mean, we talked about this even in the like Reputation series, like, and 1989, we could see things were like going south with like her and her record label. And it's just kind of sad. So that was the whole first part. We're going to skip the next little part, but I will link it on stories too, actually, so you guys can read it. But so this is towards the end of the prologue. So it continues. I love Tim McGraw for making such inspiring music. I love Faith Hill for being the most stylish woman alive. I love you, Jack Ingram. If I ever become half as cool as you in my life, I will throw a party. I just love that part. I love radio because I haven't met a single person that I don't consider a friend. I love all of my MySpace friends.
Oh my gosh.
I love all of my MySpace friends for being so actively involved in what I do. I will never forget how you supported me from the beginning. I love everyone who has inspired me to write a song, whether they know it or not. I love everyone who has turned up the volume when my song has come on the radio, everyone who has bought this album, to everyone who sings my songs when I play them live, to anyone who has ever requested my song on the radio or even remembered my name. If you ever see me in public, I want to meet you. I will thank you myself for letting me into your lives, and I can never thank you enough. I love you, and I love God for putting you in my life. T. And then she goes, my favorite part. P.S. To all the guys who thought they would be cool and break my heart, guess what? Here are 11 songs. Boom. Like savage and so incredible.
Oh, and then Taylor Swift was born.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Isn't that incredible?
It's hilarious because the whole thing is so freaking sweet and just over the top.
Yes.
And then to end it with that is like the
perfect PS. Oh, and exactly like you said though, like Taylor Swift was born.
Yes.
Like it's just like, oh, so you know how you thought you were gonna be like cool and like break my heart? Well, guess what?
Here's a pictured burn.
Yeah. Should have said no.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I love it so much.
Crazy.
So much.
Wow. Obsessed. Okay. We are going to take a quick ad break to talk about one of today's podcast sponsors, Clean Simple Eats.
I have been so excited to talk about this again because I found my newest Clean Simple Eats obsession. I don't think I talked about this yet. Have I talked about the Ninja Creamy on here?
No. I don't think so.
Okay. I don't think I have either. I don't know who I've told this about, but I'm obsessed. So we have a Ninja Creamy and we really like it. We recently restocked our mint chocolate cookie protein. Oh
yeah, you
my
have not
gosh.
talked about this.
It tastes incredible. So it like makes a mint chocolate ice cream and we put like chocolate chips in it and mix it up and then we like put crushed Oreos on top. Oh. I like seriously tell Kyle to make it for me like every day.
Oh my
And gosh. It's like, I mean, like quote unquote, like healthier because it's protein.
Yeah. Protein ice cream is all the rage.
Yeah. It is so good. Yeah. So for everybody that has a Ninja Creamy, you will not be disappointed. Like literally right now, you can pause this episode and go buy it. Like I am serious. The mint chocolate cookie protein. And that one's actually really good just like as a shake or like in a cup of milk or whatever too. But that ice cream is
next
incredible.
Level.
It is next level. Like
I need to have Kyle make it for me.
Yes. Come on over.
Oh my gosh.
It's so good. So yes, I've been like, oh my gosh. Because we've made a few and like there's like some other ones that I really like. Like the Bananas Foster one is also really good. I'm trying to remember there's another the chocolate one's pretty good. But that one blew me away.
What do you put in it for the liquid?
We just use regular milk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yum.
It was so good.
Well, I'm gonna have to go use our code.
Yep. Come
TTN10. I get myself some mint cookie protein powder.
Where can they find it? Where can you find it?
TTN10 for 10% off at cleansimpleeats.com.
Perfect. There we go. Oh, I love it. Seriously, so good though.
Okay, so album promotion. Yes. So Taylor did a radio tour for 6 months in 2006, which is crazy because most artists do like a 6-week radio tour.
That is wild.
So she went for 6 months.
6 months.
And it's really interesting to hear what she said about it. So she said, I got to go on radio tour, and you hear tour, you think tour bus. She's like, no, rental car. Me in the backseat going from radio station to radio station to radio station.
I just love her so much.
And every time I'd go to a new radio station, I would play in the conference room for a couple of DJs, and I would like beg them to put me on air, and it worked. My album sold 39,000 copies in the first week, and then over time it started to sell like crazy.
It's so cool. And it's cool that she recognizes like I put in work, good things happen.
Yes.
Because it's true.
Yeah.
And like I love that. And I love that, she was like, no
tour bus.
Yeah, me in the back seat. Going from radio station to radio station to radio station.
That's so funny.
And I love that she was like, like I would beg them to put me on the air. I mean, it reminds me, and we'll talk about this in like
of like
coming episode
getting her
of
record
her like
deal.
trying to like get a record deal.
Yeah, for sure. She also used her MySpace a lot to communicate with her audience.
I think it was so smart of her, though.
So smart.
I mean, just the way we talked about, like, using her diary to talk about things that, like, she was going through and how that connected with us. Like, to connect with her audience that early, like, I think it was really crucial for her success.
I really wish I could say, like, I used to chat with Taylor Swift on MSN Messenger.
I even just wish that I was, like, on MySpace.
Or, like, Tumblr. Or, oh my gosh, so cool. So she attracted nearly 1 million visits to her page in October 2006, which is crazy.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
And accumulated over 350,000 quote unquote friends there by early 2007.
And I mean, like, you think that was MySpace in 2006. That was before social media was like social media.
Yeah. She's always ahead of the game.
Wild. Yeah. I mean, we just talked about that. Yeah.
So she would share like daily blogs and then song information. And her online marketing strategy really helped her popularity with like the people her age and young adults, because that's where they were. And like to feel that closely connected to someone whose music you like is like, it's crazy then, it's crazy now.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. She really was so far ahead of her time.
Yeah.
Like, she knew what she was doing.
And the fact that she was so young and like all these things, like she's so young and she's not just writing songs, or she's not just singing, or like she's writing the songs, she's performing the songs. She wants to decide who her producer is. She wants to help with the album artwork. She like insists on going to all the radio stations, and she's connecting with fans online. Like she is, I mean, obviously, but she is a marketing genius.
She is,
and was from such a young age.
Yep. 100%.
Comes so natural to her.
It's wild to me. Like, it's so cool. But like, also the way that she did write these songs, that was why I connected to her. The fact that she was, giving secret messages so that like I'd have to figure out like who this boy was, or like, who these songs are about. Like, she had me hooked from the very beginning. Okay, let's talk about the singles. It's wild to like have done, like, you think about Tortured Poets. 2 singles. And now here we go. We're gonna have a lot. And I'm like, I kind of miss these days. But I mean, they are trying hard to like get her name out there, which so smart. So Tim McGraw was the first single, and that released on June 19th of 2006. So remember, the album released in October, so a few months before. So the single peaked at number 40.
The anniversary was like a week ago.
Oh
yeah. Ish. Fun.
That's fun. That is fun. The single peaked at number 40 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 6 on the Hot Country Songs chart. I love this quote. She said, "I have a catalog of over 200 songs, and I really didn't think anything of this song when I wrote it. Certainly didn't think it would be a single. Certainly didn't think it would be a hit single. And when I played it for my record label, they were like, 'Well, that's your first single.' And I was like, 'Oh, that's surprising. I didn't see it coming at all.'"
What? Also, 200 songs?
I know. By like 15.
We need those debut vault tracks, man. No wonder everyone's 200. Like, we've heard them all on LimeWire.
I know. But for real. But I just love, like, and I actually do remember hearing, I don't know who said this, but maybe Taylor did at one point, but they were talking about how they used the song Tim McGraw because they wanted to like capitalize off of Tim McGraw and his success.
Interesting.
Which I think was smart. Mm-hmm. Like, I think her record label knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
But it's funny to have her be like, really? Out of all my songs, that's
the
one that you like the best?
Yeah, that's really funny.
It's funny. And then after that, so then the album was released in October, and then in February, so February 20th of I keep like, the fact that we're saying 2017 is throwing me off. I keep wanting to say like 20.
Oh,
whatever,
yeah.
2010 or like 2017.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my gosh, we are way too far back.
2007.
She released her second single, which was Teardrops on My Guitar.
my Taylor Swift entry level song.
So good.
So good.
So this one actually started slow, but after the arrival of the music video on CMT, which is wild to think back when that was.
Yeah.
Like, you could turn on country music TV and
watch random music videos. Yeah.
Like, that doesn't happen nowadays.
I know, it's
wild.
So funny.
But like, again, I feel like them knowing like we need to get this music video to be good and we need to get it playing on the right spots. Like, they were really good at helping her promote what they needed to promote.
Yeah.
But once
sounds like they were really scrappy. Like
they were
just like they weren't like, here's a plan, we'll see if it works or not.
Yes.
They like adjusted and rerouted and stuff.
And like, we're gonna get into some more things that they did. And I was like, you guys, like, exactly, like, you guys knew what you were doing, but you were like also pivoting depending on what these songs were doing, which is really cool. So after the music video, then she started to climb the country radio charts. Teardrops ended up peaking at number 2 on the Hot Country Songs chart and had the crossover release to pop radio, and that peaked at number 7 on the mainstream top 40 pop songs, and then 13, which is kind of fun, on the Hot 100, and it charted for 48 weeks in total, which I feel like for your second single to chart for 48 weeks, is crazy. I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so crazy.
I like forget how successful she was, like, right.
I know. It does make sense, like, because I think that too. I forget how successful she was right off the bat, and I usually think about that more in terms of Fearless, probably because I feel like I know more about the Fearless album and like the background of it. But like, learning all this, I'm like, no wonder Fearless was like crazy huge because of all this.
Yeah, it's like she was like doing the steps to like almost set up her next big thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, crazy. So the next single was Our Song, released September 4th, 2007, and it's super interesting because this was the next single because there was so much good feedback on it from MySpace.
Which I love. Like,
freaking MySpace.
She's like, okay, like, my fans like this song.
Yeah.
Let's put it out.
Yeah, which obviously we love Our Song.
It's so good.
So good. It reached number 1 on the Hot Country Songs chart.
As it should have.
And it made Taylor the youngest person to single-handedly write and sing a hot country song number 1 hit. Because as we remember, she wrote that one all by herself.
It's wild to me.
Yeah, that is so crazy.
It's so cool.
Yeah. It remained a massive hit for 6 weeks. The longest reign atop the chart for any song in nearly a decade.
That's like, that is wild too.
That is
I feel like I'm just gonna keep saying that, but like, it is crazy to me.
Yeah.
That like, her third single and she's getting like a rating atop the chart in like longer than any other song for nearly a decade.
I'm like, curious. What? My brain is kind of going. I'm curious, like, because what I remember country in those days back then was like a bunch of dudes.
Yep.
And a bunch of like older women.
Yeah.
So I also wonder if she filled this spot in country, this gaping hole, honestly, in country music of like young.
Yeah, I think she did.
Because it was more like, my parents love country music.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I loved country music.
Yeah.
And so when she
like,
came
I loved
along,
Shania Twain.
Yeah. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, like, this is everything I ever wanted.
Yeah, because you already liked country, but then you related to it.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm like curious if there were very many other like, because I feel like nowadays there's a lot more like really young and female country artists, but I'd be curious back then what that looked like, you know?
Yeah. I'll have to look.
Yeah.
Because I, like, off the top of my head, I can't.
Yeah. Maybe we can talk about it in like the era.
Ooh, that would be fun. I mean, I'm sure there's others, but like, I feel like probably the closest one outside of that is like Carrie Underwood.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she was even a lot older.
Later.
Yeah.
And she was older. Yeah. Crazy.
I think Carrie
Were they
Underwood
similar time?
Okay. Yeah. But like different vibes and like older.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely not like.
Yeah. She was not singing about her high school.
Girl.
Like,
no. Yeah.
I smashed my anyway.
Keys into the side.
Such a classic.
Such a classic.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
Yeah. Okay, so the other really interesting thing about the Our Song single is they did do a pop radio edit, but it was bad.
I don't remember it.
I don't either,
which is probably why,
yeah, like it was bad and it actually affected the overall, like even the original song performance. And it on pop radio, it only reached number 18, which isn't bad for a country song, but considering how much bigger Teardrops on My Guitar was, like that's pretty telling. And like Teardrops on My Guitar did so well on country radio, it makes you wonder if the pop edit hadn't been so bad for Our Song.
Yeah.
Like
if it would have
if it would have done better than Teardrops or not, because like I wish I had heard or like remembered the Our Song
if we could
pop
find it.
edit, because to me that I actually see that one more like doing better as
you would think,
because it's already naturally upbeat. Maybe that's the problem.
There like wasn't enough change.
I don't know.
I know, it's interesting. We'll have to go listen to it. I'm sure we can find it. Okay, we're on the 4th single, right? Like which number? I should have numbered these. Picture to Burn was the next one, and this was released in February 3rd of 2008. Finally said that right. This one was really interesting to me, and this I did a bunch of research on because this is where we were talking about with like her label and like pivoting and figuring out a smart move. So Picture to Burn was on track to hit number 1 on the country charts. Then Big Machine Record decided to kind of like pull the plug on it in May of 2008. And so it kind of caused it to like peak at number 3 on the country charts. And it looked like, according to like my research, it probably would have hit number 1 in June. Like it needed a little bit more time. It was like kind of climbing. But 3 months from this time, so Picture to Burn, the lead single for Fearless would be coming out. Or from June, with the lead single for Fearless would be coming out. So instead, what they wanted to do is instead of letting Picture to Burn hit number 1, they decided to push one last like single from debut to get like another wave of like interest and song before they started on Fearless. So it's like they really were like just pushing thing after thing after thing.
They were trying to be 5 steps ahead.
And then they were like, okay, here's Fearless. So I just think that's like really interesting that it's wild because I wonder if now she was like, oh dang, that would have been cool to have like a number 1. Like another one. But I think they were like smart. Like they knew what they want to do. They're like, no, we're also going to put out and they ended up releasing Should Have Said No. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But it performed like a country radio number 1 still. Like it peaked at number 21 on the Hot Billboard 100 chart, which is actually higher than most non-crossover country songs did. Like it was hitting everywhere as if it was like a number 1 song. Said when Picture to Burn peaked at number 3, the album ended up returning to the top 10 on the Billboard 200 as well. Like the whole thing started to like pick up again. But it almost was like they felt like, okay, Picture to Burn did its job. It like got more interest. It got like the album back on the top 10. And so they're like, we're going to do one more push. They released Should Have Said No on May 29th of 2008. That one reached number 1 on the Hot Country Songs chart. It peaked at number 33 on the All Genre Hot 100. And this single ended up helping the album stabilize in the top 20 of the Billboard 200. So it was like there. It ended up spending 41 consecutive weeks in the top 20 by the time Should Have Said No was done. And it had started there with Our Song. What? 41 consecutive weeks in the top 20 for your debut album. I know.
When you have already had 3 other singles and have them perform pretty well.
It's wild.
Oh my gosh.
The other crazy thing too is Should Have Said No didn't get an official music video, which I always forget about for some reason. But like, there's not one. They did release, what they did was they released a live performance of the song at the 2008 ACM Awards as a video. And this was another part that I feel like was like crucial. It was almost like peak Taylor. Like this is Taylor. It showed Taylor's performance ability.
Yeah.
Like, she was not like the normal country performer who was going to stand there and like play the guitar and like sing a song, you know, like she
was like theatrical.
Yes, she was like theatrical, and she had like costumes and, you know, like a different style, stage effects that like most people weren't using back then.
Yeah.
And so it was just really cool to see like all of these things like that we've talked about are just, they're Taylor. Like, and you saw them at the very beginning. It's not like it took her a while to figure it out. Obviously, she like honed her craft. But it's cool to see she had all of the pieces from the very beginning.
Yeah. This is the performance, right, where they pulled off the...
I think so.
Okay, so if you don't know, she's singing Should Have Said No.
Should Have Said No.
And she's wearing like, I don't remember exactly what, maybe like a baseball hat and like...
I don't even remember.
Just like baggy, like really casual clothes. And they have something to...
We'll have to find a picture and post it here.
Yeah, like attached to the clothes. I don't know.
Yeah,
like there's
like,
a part in the song and they pull the casual clothes off and she's in like a dress.
Yeah. Isn't it like the black? I think it's black, right?
Okay. I don't remember exactly.
I need to go look. But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's probably good. That. Because they were like the costume changes, the stage effects, all of it. But
it's so fun.
Okay, so all 4 of the final singles, Teardrops on My Guitar, Our Song, Picture to Burn, and Should Have Said No, they all peaked on the top 40 of the Hot 100 and the top 10 of the Hot Country Songs. And then 4 of those had music videos, and we are definitely going to do a music video deep dive.
Yeah.
It'll be different. It won't be like an Easter egg type thing, but you guys please comment below and let us know which one you think would be fun for us to do.
Fun.
So, yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to talk about, like we kind of mentioned before, the multiple like re-releases of Debut and like why that happened. So the original album came out October 24th, 2006. There was a first week special edition that you could get at Best Buy, and it featured the song I Heart ?
I used to like write that on my hand.
Yeah.
When this album was out.
Amazing.
But like, can you see like your 15-year-old, 14-year-old self?
Yes.
I thought I was so cool.
Oh my gosh. And then November 6th, 2007, so almost exactly a year later, the deluxe edition was released. It had 15 tracks. And the extra tracks were I'm Only Me with That When I'm With You, Invisible, Perfectly Good Heart, and then the like pop version of Teardrops on My Guitar. And then another change was there were 2 lyric changes. The lyric changes to Picture to Burn and to Teardrops on My Guitar.
And we're going to talk about that next week when we talk about those songs.
Yeah. And then it also included Taylor's first phone call with Tim McGraw. That's fun.
I know.
It also had a deluxe DVD portion.
Which is, it's wild to me how much... God, we should play a drinking game with the amount of times I've said, like, this is wild.
I can't believe it. This is crazy.
That's our, like, new, this is wild is, like, our new, like, oh, that's interesting.
It's funny because I edit all of our episodes, and I have noticed, like, that is, like, a total classic Carly thing that you, like, I could make a whole convocation of you saying, that's wild. It's like the new, so interesting.
I know, yeah. But it's crazy to me that like back then she's like, okay, how am I gonna like spice this up? I'm not just giving you guys a CD.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you guys a DVD.
Yes. The DVD included 3 music videos and behind the scenes, 3 live performances, an interview, GAC, which was like a TV network, shortcuts for A Place in This World, and then a home video for Taylor.
So cool.
Then there was also a Target version of the deluxe album, which I actually love that like the Target tie goes all the way back.
Apparently, when I was like looking at this, that is one of the hardest versions to find.
I bet.
And I'm like, dang it, I want it now.
I know, gosh. It included Taylor's performance on the Tim McGraw and Faith Hill tour in 2007 on the DVD, which is so fun. And then in March 2008, they re-edited the debut version. So like the original 11-track album, and all they just updated the lyrics to Teardrops on My Guitar and Picture to Burn. So.
Okay, and then this is also where her label is just pushing her hard. Like they are just throwing it all out there.
Yeah.
So Walmart had an exclusive EP, which was released on July 15th of 2008, and this was called Beautiful Eyes.
And
so
I have it.
You have it?
Yes,
I don't
do.
have this one.
I have it.
Ugh. I do not have this one. Dang it.
And I didn't get it way after the fact. I've had it
since the beginning. Oh, I love that.
Yes.
For you. Not for me. Just kidding. If you guys don't know, an EP is an album that has less than 10 songs. I don't know if people know that or not.
I did not. Yeah. I've always wondered what that means.
Like what it means. Yeah, it's like a shorter, so it's not like a full proper studio album. Okay. So it was exclusively through Walmart because they did not want people to think this was her second album. So they tried to make it like exclusive enough that like it wasn't widespread.
Yeah.
But like another push for stuff to be like, hey, remember Taylor's still relevant. And it's kind of cool.
Charting for 40 plus weeks with one song is not enough.
Reals. And it's kind of interesting to see that, like, I mean, we had Best Buy, Target, and now Walmart. Like, she all the way back then was like collaborating with like major retailers to like put out new things for fans. It's cool to see that she's done that since the beginning, like you said. So the track list for Beautiful Eyes was Beautiful Eyes, Should Have Said No alternate version, Teardrops on My Guitar acoustic version, Picture to Burn, I'm Only Me When I'm With You, and I Heart Question. And then this part had a DVD that had 9 tracks. They had the music videos made for Beautiful Eyes, which was just footage from Taylor's 18th birthday party. Picture to Burn, I'm Only Me When I'm With You, Tim McGraw, Teardrops on My Guitar pop version, and our song. So all those music videos were on here. Then they had a special making of video for Picture to Burn, the GAC New Artist Special that was about Taylor Swift, and then the 2008 ACM Awards for Should Have Said No performance. It debuted at number 9 on the Billboard 200 with 45,000 copies sold, despite it being released during the summer lull, which I thought was wild.
Yeah.
But it said normally sales are really low during that time, and being only available at Walmart, the fact that it sold that many for like a release was really cool. Because I think the original week of Taylor like debut was 39,000.
Wow.
So like, and for an EP.
That is cool. Basically a bunch of songs that already exist.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. So Taylor said, I'm only letting my record company make a small amount of these. The last thing I want any of you to think is that we are putting out too many releases.
I think it's funny that she said this.
Yeah.
I wonder if she started to feel like we're putting out too much.
And like seeing it as a money grab.
Yes. And because I think it's interesting that she like says this.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like, just like let it be.
I also love that she's still in owning her power. Like, I'm only letting my record company
make a small amount of these. Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
So for reference, that EP was released July 15th, 2008, and Love Story was released 2 months later on September 12th, 2008. That's crazy.
I know. Like, I forget. I mean, I look back and I remember like constantly having like new stuff.
Well, and I think that I had just, while we were recording, I looked up when Fearless was released because I was like, it feels like they were so back to back, but that's because they promoted debut
so heavily
for 2 years.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
I know. Like there was never a lull.
No.
Like it was constant. Like
yeah.
We were constantly being fed. You wonder why, Taylor, that we keep saying more. It's because from 2006.
Yeah.
You were giving us something every couple months. We had 4 music videos.
That's so funny. She sets herself up for this.
Yeah, come on.
Just kidding. So then this is crazy, and anyone that has this, oh my gosh.
I know.
There was another re-release. It was called Taylor Swift, The Spark That Lit the Flame, released in 2008, but it was only given to ACM voters to promote Taylor for the ACM Awards. It had 15 songs and 2 music videos. Oh my gosh. That is as limited as it gets.
I know.
And then she did have a record store date vinyl released for 2018, and it was a special turquoise color.
Fun. So I'm like, dang, I wish I would have gotten that. That was before I got into vinyl.
I've seen people talk about that as a collector thing.
That's cool. There was a quote I wanted to talk about really quick, I think, up here. So she said, I give myself like 5 seconds to be like, yes, this is happening. And then the rest of the day, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to make it last. I don't know whether to be like, yeah, go Taylor, or like, that is so sad that from the very beginning, she is worried about like, how can I like continue to stay relevant?
Yeah.
And I actually like this thought just occurred to me. I wonder if part of that is because of the way this started. Like her record label is continuing being like, okay, well now let's put out this so that you stay relevant. Now if we put out this, now you'll stay relevant. Like that just like occurred to me. Like for her first 2, probably 3 years.
They're like, if we don't keep doing this, like, keep doing that, people are going to forget about you. That's so
And now
crazy.
Here she is. She's like, and then the rest of the day I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to make it last. And years, I mean, still she's talking about like,
being replaced
when am I going to
the
be
newest pop star? And wow.
Like how long can I do this?
Crazy. Wow.
I know. Ugh. Okay, last little section we're going to talk about is the success of this album, which we've kind of talked about throughout this, but it's apparently, I didn't know this was a term. There's a term called sleeper success album. But basically that just means it's like a slower start, but then it just like takes off. So that's what they called this album. It's a sleeper success album, and it debuted at number 19, and Taylor said she thought it would for sure drop off the Billboard 200 chart. She also thought she'd be lucky to see it be certified gold. We're going to talk about what it gets to. The initial sales were 39,000 copies during the first week, but it's really interesting. They were saying the sales stayed consistent, and a year later, so November 2007, it had sold over 1 million copies in like a year for your debut album. And it reached its highest sales week on the Billboard 200 chart on January 5th, 2008, when it sold 187,000 copies, and it charted at number 8. I was going to see what they had done.
That much after it released?
I know.
Wow.
Let's see. January 2008. That was even before Picture to Burn. That was about 2 months after the deluxe.
Wow.
So I don't know like what really went on there, but
I'm only me when I'm with you. Wasn't that one of the extra songs on the deluxe?
Yeah.
That's the one that everyone's like, all right, I'm sold.
I know. Perfect. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Crazy.
Yeah, the album.
That is wild.
There you go.
I gotta do it.
It is. The album reached its peak at number 5 in its 63rd week on January 19th, 2000. And then on the top country arts chart, it peaked at number 1 for 24 consecutive weeks.
What?
Like the album in general charted for 24 consecutive weeks.
Country chart.
Number 1
Number 1. Wow.
I know. For her debut album, like I will not get over.
Yeah.
I forget how successful it was. Like I knew it was successful.
Yeah.
Like I knew she did well.
But to see
I would be excited for her to chart number 1 for 24 consecutive weeks right now.
Yeah. Whoa.
And this is 20 years ago.
Oh my gosh. That is so crazy.
Yeah. Wild, you might say.
Wild. Some may say it was wild. That could be a shirt. I want to make that shirt for you. Some might say
it's wild.
It's wild.
Coming to a podcast
store near you.
Yeah.
We could make it a whole t-shirt series. Some may say that's wild. Some may say that's interesting.
my gosh, I kind of want it now. If you'd buy it, please let us know so we actually.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, anyways, we are in a good mood today.
We are apparently, yeah.
Spending 157 weeks on the Billboard 200 by October 2009. This album marked the longest stay on the chart by any album released in the 2000s decade.
Like, I am sorry.
May say this is wild. This is
but
insane.
Really though, right?
Oh my gosh, that little curly-haired Taylor Allison Swift just slaying.
The longest stay on a chart by an album in the 2000s decade. And that was 2009.
Yeah. Wow.
So, like, that had been full 9 years.
Yeah.
And she just beat everybody with her debut album.
That is so nuts. It re-entered the Billboard 200 the week of May 15th, 2023 at number 200 for the 276th week on the chart. And that was the first time since February 2014.
I was trying to see why that week. Like, I even looked up,
that's the beginning of the Eras tour, like the prize song.
But there wasn't, that was the week of Mother's Day. And so it was Best Day and I don't remember whatever other one it was, but it wasn't like one from debut. So I was surprised. I was trying to figure out why it re-entered.
Interesting.
But I couldn't figure it out.
And then,
but now,
as of recent news, since she purchased her masters, she had the biggest day ever the day that she purchased her masters on Spotify with 2 million streams.
Gosh.
So crazy. I'd be curious about the Billboard stats after. I don't know.
Yeah, like where it is.
Yeah.
I should have looked that up.
So the week for the first time, all 10 Taylor albums charted on the Billboard 200. It has now been 7 times certified platinum. Why? What was the surge of that week for all the albums? To chart on the Billboard 200 and debut to have this random surge?
I know. I was trying to figure it out.
Maybe it was just
like maybe the Eras tour,
the buildup of the Eras tour, because that's like 2 months. So like people were starting to pay closer attention and like know what's going on at the Eras tour.
Around the time too that she released Till the Dawn edition, right? So I wonder if like even like just releasing something new and like
and the fandom catching fire and interesting,
but kind of cool.
So yeah, it has now been 7 times certified platinum, and she didn't even think it would get gold.
Girlie, you did it. The album was nominated for Album of the Year at the 2008 Academy of Country Music Awards, but it didn't win. Which now, like looking at all of this, it's crazy.
That is like,
like
Grammys 2025.
Yeah,
that's like it feels so similar. Interesting.
George Strait won. So I mean, it's like George Strait. Okay, like he's so classic country.
Yes. It's like at this, CMA Awards where like Lainey Wilson's like winning a bunch of the awards. It's like she just like this
like that is now. So like it doesn't surprise me, but
especially because George Strait is so like
country.
Classic country, and Taylor's kind of shaking up country.
So I could see like why she wouldn't. But like seeing all these numbers, I'm like, how did you not? I love
Taylor's
this.
life.
Yeah, for reals. Rolling Stone included it in the 100 best debut albums of all time, the 2022 list. And then love this part too. The longest charting album of the 2000s decade made her the first solo female country artist to write or co-write every song on a 7-time platinum debut album.
Wow.
Not even just like the youngest or the first solo female country artist to do that.
Wow.
At 16.
At 16.
Wow. Okay, there is this quote by the Rolling Stone, and I'm obsessed with it. They said, if Taylor Swift retired right after dropping her debut album, I am getting chills. She'd still be remembered as a legend today.
I literally got chills.
I know. Taylor debuted with complete mastery of a genre she was also completely transforming. That's so powerful.
I'm gonna cry.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
But like the fact that like Rolling Stone, you are crying.
I am
obsessed with this. But like the fact that like Rolling Stone could recognize that in her, and then like say that, like debut is incredible, and the fact I just love that. Like she would be remembered as a legend today. Like now, 20 years later, like where you are, like you're so far past a legend. Like you are the music industry.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And I love that they said like kind of what we were saying, like complete mastery of the genre, but also like you're transforming it.
Yeah.
Wow. Obsessed.
I know.
I did get teary.
I know.
My goodness. Crazy.
This was like, I did not realize how special and how much fun I would have like researching debut. I am like, it made me so like even more excited for like the whole series.
Yes.
I just like can't wait. But I feel like that was like the perfect way to end the episode.
It was. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Get ready for more to come.
I mean, our series, I mean, it's going to take us through basically the whole summer.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's just going to get better and better.
It really is.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be so good.
How does it get better then?
Does it?
Oh my gosh.
But yes, thank you everybody for like listening and supporting and sharing, and we're excited for this new series. So we hope you are too.
Yes. And we just feel so like I am so grateful that we do this. It's so fun. It's just the best. I'm like, what would I do without this? What did we do without this before? Oh my gosh. But if you love the podcast, we would really appreciate if you left a rating and review. So if you're on Spotify, you can just click the 5 stars and leave a rating. But if you're on Apple, you can do 5 stars and actually like type out a review. And we love reading your reviews. So please leave us a review. We would love that so much. You can also send us a review as an Instagram DM or do the little text back thing. So
and I did move that to the bottom. I don't know if any of you guys noticed that.
Oh, you did?
Oh,
great.
Because I wanted you guys to be able to see, like, because it always said, like, send us a text message. And then, like, we would say, like, what the episode was about. And I found a way to be able to, like, you guys can read the episode. And then at the bottom, there's still the, like, text us link. But I thought it was better. It just, I don't know. It fit the vibe.
Yeah, that's better.
So, yeah. Anyway, it's still there. You just got to scroll to the bottom of the show notes. But if you guys have like a Taylor Swift friend or somebody that's like getting into Taylor that was not around during debut, please just like send this to them.
Yeah.
Like click copy link, send it over in a text message to them. Or even like post it on Instagram, like your stories, and like tag us so we can reshare it. But we think that like it's fun to be able to like teach people that weren't around for these certain eras, like about what's going on. So if you think they might find it interesting, like share it with them. It just, it helps us, it helps them, it helps you.
So
talk about it with your friends. So.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Okay. Well, that is a wrap on today's episode. We cannot wait to dive into the debut era with you guys. And as always, when you think of Taylor Swift, we hope you think of us.
Bye, guys.
Bye.